Collective, this is Ether, and I'm back with another type of video. You see, there's no tarot cards on my desk slash altar because my altar space is here as well. So, I'm basically here to be transparent with you guys. I had a lot of different emails wondering how I got into spirituality and things of that sort. I've always been clairaudient and just knowing since I was between the ages of 4 or 5. And then it really kicked into gear around the age of 8. And when I had my child, my first son, it amped up even more because I was younger. And then as I have 4 kids total, and as my children kept coming, more and more things started to happen. I can hear more, I can smell more, I can see things. I didn't like a lot of people, standing next to me, touching me. I got to be more reclusive because it was just sometimes the energy around you is just too much for someone who is sensitive, so it was just a ramp up, a gradual, ramp up of certain spiritual gifts until the point that I am at now, where I can see spirit and I can hear spirit. And when I call them in, they come in groups, and I'm able to now differentiate the voices that I hear and who's speaking. Even though when I see spirit, sometimes they come to me as like black and white movies, or depending on the age of the spirit, sometimes they're in color, sometimes their mouth is moving, sometimes it is not, sometimes it is nothing but straight to telepathy, where they're speaking from their mind to mine. I'm able to see my grandparents, my great grandparents, different levels of ancestors of mine that are 2 and 3 times removed, where they live, what they did. I'm able to, when I'm reading individuals, I'm able to hear and see and smell sometimes their ancestors, their grandparents, and if their parents have transitioned, they're able to tell me what happened, when it happened, what their story was. And sometimes I can hear them if they're able to speak louder, and sometimes I miss a little bit of it because they're speaking so soft, and I really got to hone in and really listen in and tell everybody else, because a lot of times spirit brings people with them. I have to tell them to be quiet as well. So having said all that to say, that is how it works for me. But ever since between the ages of 4 and 5, I've always been able to just know. I just had the knowing. And my grandmother was like that, my great grandmother was like that, my mother is like that, my sister is like that. I don't know about my brothers because I guess they act like they're not, but I'm pretty sure they have some type of gift as well. But I know the females on my mother's side, definitely it comes from that, you know, bloodline on down through. So I'm happy with my gifts, but depending on the circumstances and what is being shown to me, it makes me kind of sad too. So I have to learn how to separate myself from that. And then on top of that, last year I lost my oldest son. He has transitioned on, so I'm able to hear, smell, and feel him around me. And it doesn't make it any easier just because he has transitioned on. I still wanted him to, of course, be with me, because the way it's supposed to go is no parent is supposed to bury their child. But unfortunately, I had to do that. And so, with that being said, more little gifts and things started clicking on and everything. And I'm going through a healing phase, as well as his siblings who are still, here with me in the home. We moved from our home state of Ohio to Texas, just to get a fresh start and to start things over. And since I've been here, it has not been easy. it has been a struggle, but I always listen to spirit. I always have a message to give. I always have something that I can discuss and talk about. But I'm just trying to be transparent with you guys because, like I said, I got a couple of emails wondering how I got started, a little bit of weird questions under some of my videos, which I did take those questions down because they were not respectful, but I'm here to answer them so that people don't want to keep calling me the devil, which I'm not really worried about any of that, or weird, which I'm not worried about any of that either. If that is what makes you feel good at night, to call somebody the devil or evil or say that they're weird, that is okay. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but I'm none of those things. I am here to give gifts and energy of peace and clarity. I'm here to do whatever spirit needs me to do. I don't work with negative entities. I don't allow them to come into my space. We are very well protected over here. My family near and far. I pray for them daily. I pray for myself. Definitely since the sudden death of my oldest son, I have definitely been in deep meditation and prayer to help me, but that does not stop me from being angry because I am a spiritual being having a human experience. So I am human at this moment, and it still hurts. It bothers me on certain days. It bothers me just every moment of the day, and I have to take it step by step, moment by moment, second by second. Some days are harder than others. Some days I just be like, oh God, like how could this be? This could not be my life path. I know I would not have signed up for this. But, every soul comes here with an agenda, and every soul has a path that it has to take and a life path that it's, a contract that the soul has signed before they come into their physical body. So I was grateful. I am grateful for the years that I've had with him, but I just want, and look what everybody else wants, to have many, many more, for me to see him marry, for him to make me a grandmother, and things of that sort. But having said all that to say, um, I'm connected to him now more so than ever. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to be connected to my ancestors because when I had to go and view my child, when I say my ancestors was around me and I felt their hands holding me up in that moment, and I could feel their hands on my back, on my shoulders, and just keeping my legs straight, because that is something that will make your legs buckle. I don't care how old you are, who you are, how seasoned you are. It is some things in life that just will stick with you forever and will knock you straight down. And that is one of them. So when people try to judge others, or when people try to judge me, I just want everybody to know that you're not the judge, jury, or executioner. And you really should pay attention to your own backyard. Make sure that your side of the street is clean before you try to judge somebody else's. And there is a such thing as compassion. I show it to people, and I expect people to show it back to me, but it's a choice that they don't always have to do that, and they don't always do that. But as long as I put out good energy, I show compassion, I know that my ancestors and my spirit guides and my angels that are around me will keep me protected from all harm. So a lot of things that you guys wish upon me or try to say about me does not affect me like you think it does. So this will be the only time that I really comment on that. I'm really supposed to be telling you about my spiritual gifts and everything, and I hit on as much as I want to. And I also want to say that everybody else knows this as well, for those who are parents and who can remember raising teenagers. It is not easy raising teenagers. And at some point, they stop listening, or they feel like they want to go and do their own thing. And if they're doing too much, or they're making too many reckless decisions, or the company that they keep, whether it's male or female. In my son's case, it was a female. And sometimes love can turn toxic, and that toxic love can kill. And that is the situation with my son and what he transitioned to be, at a really young age. So he will be forever 22 for me, but in spirit sense, he's always going to grow and evolve, and age and age and age, so I'm blessed that I was able to have him for the time that I did have him. But we also have to understand what Spirit is just telling me, that he was lent to me. He was not mine. And I remember saying that a few times and never really understanding why I was saying that before he transitioned. So that was why Spirit was already preparing me for his early transition. And it doesn't hurt any less whether Spirit was preparing me or not. I am still his mother. I will always be that, and he will always have a part in my heart. But that is how I get messages from Spirit. And I know that he helps me now more so on the other side than he ever could on this side. And I'm grateful for that. But I'm still raising teenage daughters. And Jesus Christ, for anybody who has those, y'all already know how hard it is. And they do not make it easy. They say boys are easy. Compared to what my daughters are doing, yes, my sons were definitely easy. But that does not mean that I love them any less. But I am human. And I need you guys to understand that I am human. And be mindful of your words. Because just like you have, spirit guys that is spirit teams that are watching after you, I have an army that is watching after me. So be mindful of what you say and how you come across to any and everybody, because it's certain people that you just can't say things to, because their spirit team will be on your neck. So just be careful, be mindful, and just be loving and joyous as much as you can, to any and everybody who you feel needs it. Just be nice, period. It's free to be nice to people. It's easy to be nice to people. It is really too much to be malicious and mean and nasty, because what you put out is what you will receive. That's why I'm mindful of what I say. I'm mindful of what I do. I'm mindful of how I act. And I am human, but Oya is my crown. And if anybody knows anything about the Orishas, look up Oya. She don't play no games. Whenever a storm comes in, that's who that is. Or tornado touches down and hit every other house but one house, that's who that is. Oya is a very strong Orisha. So I just want you guys to look into that. If you're, spiritual into that, in that dynamic, and you understand what the Orishas are, or you know about Orishas, in order to find out who governs your crown, you will need to get a reading from a Baba or a Babalao, so that they can tell you who holds your crown and who is governing you. Like who is your Orisha mother, your Orisha parents, so. But having said all that to say, just be mindful and be compassionate to people, even when you feel like you don't think they deserve it or you don't want to. It is free. It costs you nothing. And remember, what you put out is what you will receive. So I just wanted to share that little bit with you guys, and just know that you are loved. And I am going to end this video for now. I thank you for listening. Have a good night.